My question is that I watch C-SPAN every morning faithfully, and I hear different callers call in periodically about the 9/11 Building 7, and I'm wondering why does C-SPAN have a policy of not wanting to answer any of these questions? Because when a person mentions this, you either call them some conspiracy person or else you deflect them with a different question so that the guest doesn't have to answer. And I'm wondering why, is this a policy C-SPAN has?
No, Pat, it's not a policy at all. And sometimes we try to stay on topic if we have someone on talking about a specific thing, but it's not a policy, and we want to invite all conversation topics. Sometimes callers call in and tell our screener they're going to talk about one thing, then they talk about something else when they get on the air.
No facts, no truth, no system that can't be broken down by the youth. There's no religion with no lies. It's so odd, no offering plate to pass on to no God, no white, no black, no race exists that hasn't been choked by the slack. No vote, no hope, and no life. They want us with no sight, no brain, and no right.
But we welcome your opinions and thoughts. Did you have any questions or comments for James Corliss this morning?
Well, in terms of the bridges collapsing, like the one you cited about Minnesota, there was Building 7 that collapsed without a plane even hitting it. And I think many families and supporters of trying to get into an investigation about why this building would just suddenly collapse, I wonder why no one will answer these questions for these people.
There's no sense of putting trust in any government. No guns, no bullets, no justice.
How can any member of Congress pretend that the American government has the credibility to judge other countries when most of them have failed their people by selectively ignoring basic physics and scientific evidence proving that Building 7 was brought down on a controlled demolition on 9/11.
And Senator, you should know this is part of a campaign that calls into this show asking this type of question. You can respond.
Yeah, no, I frankly won't dignify the comment with a response. In Ukraine,
There's no sense of putting trust in any government. No guns, no bullets, no justice.
Yes, thanks for having me. Building 7 was in free fall for over 100 feet when it was destroyed on 9/11, meeting no resistance for 8 stories as it went down. Given this fact, why hasn't Congress forced the National Institute of Standards and Technology to legitimately explore the possibility that explosives may have been used?
William, we'll get a response from the congressman from that issue, but what do you think about immigration reform? You're in Houston.
Well, my question was about the Building 7 and 9/11.
I know, but I'm asking you about what you think about immigration reform. We'll move on to that in just a minute.
No mind, no time, no society man's ever built with no spine.
And we know that there is a concerted effort to flood the airwaves with these calls. We ask that you go to another network or another place. We've heard from you.
Please don't interrupt me.
I am going to interrupt you because it's off topic, and we've had a number of people calling in. We had a caller earlier this morning with the same point who basically disputed everything that is being called on this question. But you and others continue to call in, so we ask that you choose another network or another venue. Take your calls somewhere else.
There's no sense of putting trust in any government. No guns, no bullets, no justice.
I'm gonna stop you there and ask you a question. We've been getting a lot of calls lately on this show from people who believe that 9/11 was there's like a theory that it was an inside job. Are you part of a group or an effort that's trying to get this on the show?
No guns, no bullets, no justice.
Well, I've been watching C-SPAN for a long, long time, and I think every morning it seems like somebody calls in with a 9/11 comment. And I wonder, why don't you get one of them guys on there and let them talk it out or whatever, let somebody kind of counter them and bring it to reality, I guess.
What do you think? What do you think about those calls, David?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they're completely off base or if they're for real, but I honestly don't have much of an opinion on them. But it just seems like they're persistent. I don't know if it's like an organization that's kind of just pestering you or just wants to get their beat their drum on the television, but it seems that they're not going away. They've been at it for quite some time.
Well, thanks for the suggestion. Appreciate that. Now, what do you think about the Olympics? Are you going to be watching them? Do you think they're too political?
Yeah, I like the Olympics, and it's too bad.
There's no sense of putting trust in any government. No guns, no bullets, no justice.
Thank you very much. I would be more than happy to receive information from you, sir, and turn it over to those who have that particular agency under their jurisdiction. I have seen some of the callers who've called into programs, and I think you're getting your message through. Sometimes the government doesn't have all the facts, or there is an effort in some matters to not reveal the facts for whatever reason. But ultimately, if the American people are persistent, the truth will be revealed.
There's no sense of putting trust in any government. No guns, no bullets, no justice.
First of all, I thank him for asking that question and for making those calls. It is incredibly important, if you will, for people who don't just take things on face value, who continue to push on many of these issues. You can only draw inference with the information that is available to you. So if some of it is closeted off, if some of it doesn't have the imprint to make it through the Congress, to bring it forward to the Congress, then it's difficult for a congressperson to get a hold of that.
Well, on that point, here's a tweet from a viewer. How much oversight does Congress really have on the administration? Can you control the NSA or the CIA to any degree?
So how long can you let it go? Will you let it go? Till there's nothing.
Let's bring our viewers and listeners into the conversation.
Organized groups like yours, part of a group, organized effort out there. Let's get to phone calls. Lynn's waiting in Maine, Republican caller. Hi, Lynn. William's up first in Athens, Ohio, Democratic caller. Hi, William. Let me go to John first in Loveland, Colorado, Democratic caller. To Greg in Hemet, California, Republican caller. Andy, Utica, New York, Democratic caller. Steve in Louisville, Tennessee, Democratic caller. Peter, you're up first in Littleton, Colorado, Republican caller. Ken in Pittsburgh, California, Democratic caller. Hi, Ken. Let me go to Maya in Matthews, North Carolina, Democratic caller. Good morning. Let's go to Bruce next in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, Republican caller. Hi, Bruce. Decided to call into C-SPAN to talk about what they believe.
That 9/11 was an inside job?
September 11th, 2001, 9/11.
September 11th.
About 9/11 and Building 7.
9/11.
An inside job.
9/11 investigation done by Congress was not adequate.
9/11 Commission report.
The 9/11
conspiracy.
9/11 investigation.
What happened on 9/11?
And people can Google it and find out the information if they're interested. Let me move on. Congressman, I'll just jump in at this point. Steve is part of a group that is organized, calls into our show, other shows, that believe the investigation, the government's investigation into what happened on 9/11 is not adequate. They don't trust the evidence. Would you care to respond?
Well, I'll be very honest. Well, it's because it's still really present. It's still a visceral wound that we still have. When I talk to when I talk to people, I say 9/11 is still really important because every time a politician opens his mouth, 9/11 pops out. There's no money for health care, no money for education, no money for social safety nets. There's money for war, there's money for drones, there's money for massive surveillance. Why is this? They say it's because it's 9/11.
That 9/11 was an inside job?
Yep. Yep.
Is that the question?
Yes, sir. What would be your response to those people who believe those?